there's a lot of really good, like, weird one-liners in this one. Obviously, there's the "you've just been erased." There's the end. They caught a train.
Yep.
You brought up the alligator one.
Oh,
I'm fully convinced the episode of Family Guy where they go to Asia Town. I think it was to evade. I think it was to evade the police. Was directly inspired by Eraser.
Not enough is directly inspired by Eraser.
It's not a plot hole, but putting Vanessa Williams undercover in Chinatown to hide her is was it an intentional joke on their part or just an oversight?
It could be like in plain sight. Is Vanessa Williams just a tourist that is lost on Canal Street?
Yeah, but isn't she dressed in the most ridiculous? Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
She's wearing designer clothes for sure.
I don't know if you guys how familiar you are with the whole Lethal Weapon franchise, but like I think it's Lethal Weapon 4, right? Where Joe Pesci is trying to be like Leo is trying to be a private eye, right? He's following Murtaugh and Riggs in like the bright red car, and Riggs goes, "Oh, nice inconspicuous vehicle." Like that's how I think about this scene too. It's like, oh yeah, let me blend in by wearing all black in broad daylight in Chinatown as not Chinese. Just really, really well erased across the board, everyone.
And she clearly like looks like a supermodel.
There's a lot. Well,
one
there's
of the
a lot
hottest
there.
women ever.
Like she's even like working at an office. She's exceptionally hot.
Yeah.
Right. They always say all the time, like, "Oh, she's an office 10, but a street 6." Like,
Yeah.
what does that make Vanessa Williams? An office 92?
Exactly.
It's
She breaks
just the charts just don't go that high.
Yeah.
This is why wasn't it better? And I'm your host, Patrick Darms.
And I'm your co-host, Anton Pross.
And on this episode, we're entering the witness protection program with Eraser, the last quality movie that Arnold ever did. He was still in his prime, but looking back on it now, it's clear that he was coming to the end of it. Eraser is generally well liked, but it's never included as one of Arnold's best. Should it be? That's our question. And here to help us answer that question is a return guest, Adam Hecht. Welcome back.
Adam.
I love being back here with you guys, and I'm especially excited to talk about this movie after the disaster of the last movie I was here to talk about. So yeah, this is a nice palate cleanser. Very excited.
Excellent.
Disaster, masterpiece, mediocrity. We can still have a good chat about it.
Very true. Very true. But I'm excited about this one. So, watching this again, and I haven't watched this movie in years. And I watched it again just for, to prepare for the podcast. And it was just bringing back all the stuff that I used to love about action movies. And on top of it, it's a good movie, right? I happen to think it's a very good movie. I like the way that you brought up that it's kind of like towards the end, if not the end, of Arnold's prime. But I think it also fits in a larger context towards the end in general of kind of action movie hero, like male jacked action movie hero prime, right? You really don't see too many of those anymore. I think you stop seeing it around this time. And I was a huge fan of those, right? I love this movie. Huge fan of Hard Target, right? Like all those kinds of movies where there's just this superhuman, extra strong guy doing crazy things, crazy weapons, explosions. I'm excited to talk about.
This definitely fits the bill. It was released on June 21st, 1996, 30th anniversary, shout out, by Copelson Entertainment. It was distributed by Warner Brothers. It was directed by Charles Chuck Russell. The screenplay was written by Tony Puryear and Waylon Green, with a story credit for Michael S. Chermuchin. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vanessa Williams, James Caan, James Coburn, Robert Pastorelli, and James Cromwell, plus a murderer's row of action movie character actors that we'll be talking about. The budget was a staggering $100 million in 1996. That is $210 million adjusted for inflation. The box office was $242 million. That is $509 million adjusted for inflation. Only a 43% Rotten Tomatoes score. That's bullshit. John the Eraser Kruger is the top gun in the U.S. Marshal Witness Protection Program. He will erase your past to protect your future. His latest assignment is smoking hot whistleblower Lee Cullen, who has evidence against a major arms corporation called Cyrez, which is funny to say in Arnold's accent, that's selling weapons to terrorists with the collusion of rogue enemy agents within. but there is a danger near home for Kruger from within his own department. Adam, you're the guest for today.
Yes.
This really was the end of Arnold's prime, because here's the breakdown. I'm going to argue he did not hit his prime with the first Conan and the Terminator. He was on the ascendant.
I fully buy into that. I think I've had the conversation with you that the original Terminator is a horror movie, not action, not
It's not an Arnold movie.
No, it's not. It's, he is he's the villain for sure, but it's not an Arnold movie in the way that Conan is, or in the way that Total Recall is at all.
Right. Here's what he did when he hit his prime, which in my opinion starts with Predator in 1987. He rips off Predator, Twins, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He has a brief stumble with Last Action Hero. He rebounds with True Lies, and then we get Eraser. This comes out the same year as Jingle All the Way. It's a pretty successful year for him, but it is the end. Here's what follows. Batman and Robin, it's over. End of Days, The Sixth Day, Collateral Damage, and then Terminator 3, and then he just gets elected governor of California. I mean, this was it.
This is it. Very much it. And I think, obviously, that's a generational run by any actor. Maybe Tom Hanks and that. But if you look at the gross of this film, you start to see what a draw he was in this time period. Sticking him in a movie is guaranteed to make money. That amount of revenue in 1996 from a movie that is not even very well remembered by most people, wild to think about what a box office draw he was.
He really was. So all of us missed this in theaters. Adam, you're a little bit older than us, but I mean, I remember renting this from Blockbuster. I guess
it was a Blockbuster film for sure.
This is a great Blockbuster. I remember seeing the giant posters for this. It's a badass poster, by the way. A simple poster, but a badass poster. It's just him in the trench coat with smoking hot Vanessa Williams behind him.
I mean, what else do you need to know to make you want to see that movie?
Nothing. Eraser's a cool title, too.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie title for an action movie. Anton, I think Adam's right. It was a big deal in 1996. This is kind of forgotten.
It gets overshadowed. 1996 had a lot of really great films. There are a lot of action classics. We've always talked about how the 90s were so strong for just this era of like action and the stars behind them. And Arnold just being a legend in the action scene, there's a lot of films that people think of first before they think of Eraser.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because again, Pat, you went through his filmography from 1987. That's only 9 years. He ripped through all of those films, and I think, for better or worse, right? Like, everyone associates Arnold with Terminator and to some extent True Lies from that era, so I can understand. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I get why this movie is overshadowed. We're talking about with Predator and Terminator and Total Recall. I mean, and to some degree, True Lies. It's basically the best action movies like ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works. Yep.
I think my personal favorite is Total Recall. It's the most ridiculous Arnold movie. It's the most entertaining Arnold movie.
Total Recall is incredible. I think we can all agree.
It's a masterpiece. Yeah. See you at the party, Richter. But yeah, this one, nowhere near the biggest movie of 96, which is crazy. I mean, you had Independence Day and Twister. I mean, just insane. Mission Impossible, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very memorable year for movies.
But also not even close to a flop, not even close to a failure.
No.
It has all the trappings of a great film to remember, even down to like classic, and I know we're going to talk about this, but just like unique key elements that make you want to remember the railguns, that the fun 90s style computer hacking. And I can't stress this enough. Vanessa Williams, one of the most beautiful women of all time, also in her like acting prime, right? Like, she's acting in a lot of movies around this time. She's still relatively famous from, the whole controversy around she's
singing.
She's exactly. Pocahontas is around this time. Like, she has cultural cachet at this point.
She really does. This movie came at, I guess, the the best right time for everyone involved. It probably is worth pointing out this does have a sequel. It's not the sequel anybody wanted or even knew about. I did not know this had a sequel until I started doing the research to prepare for this episode.
It's less a sequel, more a revival, right?
It's not a sequel,
but it's not directly to the film.
So I learned that there is a spiritual sequel to this in a video game.
Oh,
that was released off the franchise that continues your story. I didn't dive too deeply into it.
What it does for what platform was it on?
Oh, I forgot. I want to say it was like PC, like which even at that day was
PC game. That's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't
With
like a
Kruger's in it.
Yeah, it continues the story of like
amazing
what happens afterwards.
So yeah, if you want to check out Eraser Reborn, it is a direct-to-video. Technically, it sounds like a reboot starring the one and only Dominic Sherwood. Everybody knows him. It came out in 2022.
Whoa, sorry. Eraser Turnabout, released on Windows in 1997.
It's a terrible title. Turnabout?
It's
what
very...
the hell is that?
I want this game so bad, but I feel like this would be very difficult to get a hold of. But yes, it's the main character, U.S. Marshal John the Eraser Kruger. That's so cool.
Also, hilarious bit of trivia about this. If you happen to buy the novelization for this film, which you wouldn't, his character is never referred to in the novelization as Kruger. It's simply the Eraser. The entire book.
I happen to love that, and everything about it I love. So
you can probably get that on eBay for a few bucks. That couldn't be worth a lot of money.
So you can get... So you can't even buy the game on Steam. So this is pretty rare.
You can?
You cannot.
You cannot. Okay.
So this is pretty. This is pretty tough to get a hold of.
There's probably not a ton of demand for that.
Now Anton must know. He must know how the story continues.
I must. And like I'm reading some of the gameplay. I'm less inclined because it's a first person, and I was like, ooh, like is it going to be a first person shooter? Am I going to be able to use the railgun? It's a first person puzzle solving, exploring game. So not as cool as we thought.
Besides, if you want to use a railgun, well, we know.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah.
I think, if nothing else, the railgun alone is worth talking about. Just that's the only that's the main reason why I wanted to talk about this movie is the railgun.
I think probably top 5 coolest weapons in film.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredible.
You'd think the movie would be more well known just for that.
And the myriad other railguns in pop culture that came after it that operate in almost exactly the same way with exactly the same sound. So
yeah, we'll talk about it later, but it is worth bringing up now as well. This movie, it didn't invent the concept of the railgun, but it basically popularized the public perception of what a railgun is. When people think of a railgun, you're going to think of this film, even if you haven't seen this film.
Right. Just because of how influential it is.
100%.
Yeah.
Before we get to the production history, Anton, did you have something to add about a video game?
I just sent a link to just inside the game screenshots, and I invite you both to take a look because this is hilarious.
I have it up on my other monitor, right?
So like I said, it's not a first person shooter like you would expect for this kind of film. It's a first person exploring and puzzle game, and you also have the option to interact in mini movie like thematic portions of the game, and it looks terrible. Like there's one clip where it's like press yes or no, and I think in conversation this looks hilarious.
Does it involve Arnold's likeness?
I don't know about that. I really doubt it because this looks like a very cheaply made game.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
It's terrible. I can't.
In the interest of time, I'm going to plow ahead.
All right, let's do it.
But first, before we get to the production history, it is time for everyone's favorite, completely unnecessary segment, the 6 Degrees of Warren Beatty's sex life. Because somehow, no matter the movie, we have a prevailing theory that everything connects back to Warren Beatty. This one's very straightforward. We basically have 2 degrees. James Caan was in The Godfather, Part 1, and he's in Part 2, very briefly, along with Diane Keaton, who, of course, dated Warren Beatty. And this is completely unrelated to Warren Beatty, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Rick Fox for being married to Vanessa Williams for several years.
Rick Fox, his look has evolved over the years.
Yeah, three-time NBA champion. He is a member of one of the all-time great NBA teams, the early 2000s Lakers, and he was married to Vanessa Williams at the time.
When you wanted to be married.
Yeah.
Vanessa Williams.
Imagine being part of a three-peating NBA team and you're married to Vanessa Williams.
Oh, you mean should I just imagine I'm Rick Fox?
Yeah,
right.
So
pretty
this
good.
is what it's. So this is what it's like being 6'9".
And again, married to Vanessa Williams. All
Right,
that other
right.
great.
Right.
Well, that's the cherry on top. Married to Vanessa Williams. Unfortunately, none of us are Rick Fox, as far as I know.
None of us are Rick Fox.
Anton might be 6'9". I don't know.
I might be.
You never know.
I'm not. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not.
Speaking of height, this movie made me realize James Caan is maybe 5'7". Did you guys notice this watching this?
So I'm just about as tall as James Caan.
I thought he was taller because of The Godfather. I always
get that a lot.
just thought he was taller.
You know what it is? I think Arnold kind of always, like, just his presence on the screen overshadows almost. They're even like legends like James Caan.
Well,
like James
Arnold's only like 5'9", I think.
No, I know.
No. He's like 6'1". He's pretty big.
No, he's no.
He's like 6'1".
But even 6'1", like
I met the dude in person.
I'm 100% sure of that.
I met our governor.
He might have shrunk in his older age, but at this point in his life, he was over 6 feet tall.
Okay, that might have been it because he was like not that much taller than me when we met.
Yeah, he might have shrunk a little bit.
He's finally like compressed his chin.
Yeah. You ever see that picture of him on the set of Conan the Destroyer where he's next to Will Chamberlain?
Oh yeah.
He looks like a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, production history for this. At one point, the script was seen by Sylvester Stallone, who disliked it. I don't know why. This is a pretty awesome action movie script. I don't know. Arnold and director Chuck Russell were developing another project together when Eraser was brought to their attention. The screenplay was the work of Tony Puryear, who had a background in advertising and rap videos. Writers Waylon Green and Michael Chernuchin had previously worked together on the TV drama Law and Order. The screenplay went through numerous rewrites. Get this. John Milius, Frank Darabont, William Wisher Jr., and Christine Room all did uncredited work on this.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's starting to crystallize why the damn thing is so good. But
yeah, it's like it's got some good stuff. John Pogue did rewrites on the script, but most of his ideas were not used. He later directed the film's standalone sequel, Eraser Reborn. He was just in love with this the whole time.
I think he was seething from like 1996 to 2022. Just like, I'm going to make the Eraser movie that I've always wanted to make.
One day I'm going to reboot this and everyone will recognize me for it.
Oh,
well,
that sucks.
We did.
Yeah, right.
We did.
Yeah, let's go for him.
Did either of you know that there was a reboot to this until I told you because I did the research? No.
I had no idea until I looked into the research.
No.
It's crazy.
Even like 2022, like what even was direct to video in 2022? Was it? Why wasn't it direct to streaming?
It apparently got a physical release and then it hit HBO Max like a week later. So it was basically direct to streaming.
Okay.
But I mean, I had HBO Max at the time and I didn't see it pop up on there. So I don't know.
And my son would have been 5 in 2022. So or 4. So he was still in and my daughter was 2. So they were still in like Sesame Street, which was on HBO Max, and a lot of the kid shows on HBO Max they love. And I never once even came across.
There's some franchises I think they do go to DVD first before they even hit streaming. Stuff like Death Wish, or I feel like
Steven
Highlander, the next Highlander film. That's
great Simpsons bit on Death Wish, right, where they cut to Charles in the bed and he goes, "Oh,
I wish it were dead."
Oh, Charles Bronson. So Chuck Russell was excited about the possibilities that a film could bring between the actor and character. He said, quote, "I see Arnold the way I see a lot of people do. Or I see Arnold the way a lot of people do, as a mythic, bigger-than-life character, and that's who Kruger is. The character and the scenario are based firmly in reality, but I like the mythic proportions of this man with a strong sense of duty, a strong sense of honor, who will literally do anything to protect a noble witness, including impersonating a balloon delivery man." I was excited. He didn't say that. That's not part of the quote. I added that. To continue the quote, though, I was excited about doing a film that had heroic proportions, end quote. Producer Arnold Kopelson had wanted to work with Schwarzenegger for years. Very prolific producer, by the way, Kopelson. I think he is an Academy Award winner for Platoon. I think he won Best Picture for that, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
He's pretty big name.
References I got here is that this lost to Eraser lost to I forget what. It was the best sound effects editing category.
He lost to The Ghost in the Darkness.
Ghost in the Darkness, that's it.
Which is another pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good movie. To play the character of DeGuerian, Kruger's mentor and main sociopathic antagonist, the filmmakers wanted an actor who could, quote, convey intelligence, skill, and magnetism. A more mature version of the Kruger character, end quote. And they cast James Caan in this role. Jonathan Pryce had also been considered. I think Caan is a better choice than Jonathan Pryce. And I love Jonathan Pryce, don't get me wrong.
No, and it's not just having seen this and knowing how good Caan was the villain in this. I agree with you, though. I think it's just flat out a better choice.
I think if you ask me which do I believe more is Grizzled works with the U.S. Marshals, probably more so Caan than Pryce.
Yeah, definitely. And because there's also those scenes in the plane where he's trying to be slimy and get Kruger in on the action, right? Caan plays that so well, just like a scumbag that kind of makes you icky just looking at him,
just ripping cigs.
Yep,
the whole movie, just
a lot of cig ripping. That's for sure.
Inside, outside, doesn't matter.
You get away with that in '96, right? I think Plane still had smoking in '96. I want to say
that would have been the tail end of
this.
It. Yeah, he.
Yep, just like that.
Chooses to smoke cigarettes as you would smoke a joint. Just
like the. Yep. That's when you're really ripping it.
Yeah. He was definitely a real life smoker. He wasn't faking that. So Maria Shriver, the then wife of Arnold Schwarzenegger, suggested Vanessa Williams for the role.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for getting that together for us.
Principal photography began in September 1995 in New York City before moving to D.C. This is hilarious. The original name of the Cyrez Corporation was Cyrex. However, Cyrix, a microprocessor corporation and a rival of Intel at the time, protested. The name was changed digitally in post-production. So any scenes where the name appears it was a fairly costly process at the time to do this in post-production digitally. They had to redub some of the dialogue. However, some instances of the Cyrex logo are still visible in the finished film. Anton, this made me think of A View to a Kill with Zoran.
Yeah. It's a little excessive. It's a little excessive. Makes me think of Cyrax from Mortal Kombat.
That was another one I thought of. Yep. Cyrex.
It's just funny.
There's just always something with that. Again, this is 96, right? Cyber, AOL was around, right? Cy just made you think of futuristic, very cool robots.
Right.
There was also the decision to make the Cyrez headquarters a digitally larger than it should have been building. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
They clearly filmed a real building and then digitally.
Inside it's like a giant skyscraper kind of thing.
But why did they do it? There's no reason to do that. I don't know.
Because we can.
This movie is such a random science fiction movie where it's like it is a sci-fi movie, right? It is.
It's
got elements of sci-fi for sure.
Yeah,
it has a lot of sci-fi elements, and is so. I think it takes a lot from cyberpunk, right?
Yes.
The X-ray, the X-ray capabilities of the railgun, and just the way they render that in the green hue just screams like cyberpunk.
It's so cool
without being a cyberpunk film itself.
Right.
Right.
One of the most demanding action sequences in the film featured the character of Kruger forced to flee from a jet speeding through the air. The aerial stunt involved Arnold. He had to fall 65 feet in a vertical descent and perform a backflip mid-flight. The shot took 7 takes. In the film, Kruger appears to drop along the length of the fuselage and past the flaming engine of the jet, thanks to inventive camera angles and special effects. For the reptile house.
Oh, yes.
This was an interior built on the Warner Brothers soundstage in Burbank. The alligators were a combination of CG, which you can notice, And there were animatronics. They built some animatronic alligators.
Respect.
Yeah. $100 million budget, tied with The Hunchback of Notre Dame for the most expensive movie of 1996. I just wanted to point out this cost 25% more than Independence Day.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Different team.
Arnold pocketed 20 million of that. Not bad, Arnold. Pretty good work. Well, think about this. They had to develop the railgun. That's expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the effects around the railgun expensive too, right? This isn't a time when cheap CGI is everywhere. So that makes sense.
I have to say, the CGI held up better than I remembered.
It did.
Even the alligator, it wasn't a couple shots. It's dated, but I remember it being worse.
Yeah, I remember it being a bit more jarring. It wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. Vanessa Williams sang the theme song, Where Do We Go From Here? That's it for the production history. As always, we want to thank everyone for listening. If you're liking the pod and you haven't done so, please follow, please subscribe, please leave us a nice review. We encourage you to leave comments wherever you're listening or watching, wherever you get your pods. We're on Instagram. We're on X. Best of all, Letterboxd. That's the best place to follow us. And if you really like what we're doing, we have a Patreon. You can throw a few bucks our way by becoming a patron. Links to everything are in the description. All right, let's talk why wasn't it better for Eraser. Number one, the premise. I mean, this is honestly why wasn't it worse. I think this is a genuinely fantastic setup for an action movie. The witness protection concept, it's pretty original.
You know, I think it's a bit, it expands so much on like something that's already grounded in reality, which I think helps a lot with just how audiences can accept it really quickly.
I think maybe this was my first exposure to the concept of witness protection. Maybe.
Mine was with The Simpsons.
Oh, I guess true with Cape Fear.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Adam. I think this is probably the first movie I ever saw where it involved witness protection.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I was like reading up on this and like watching it again. I was like, did I know about witness protection? And I definitely had seen that Simpsons episode, but I don't think I ever made the connection to like witness protection or relocation being a real thing until like seeing this. And then, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I just saw more media that had more witness protection programs, like Married with Children, Al Bundy Goes to the South.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have watched that. I watched the show, but I don't remember that at all.
I mean, when I was a little bit older, I saw Goodfellas, which has that at the end.
Right.
Yeah. That's when I was really familiar with witness protection, right? By the time I watched Goodfellas, I had already read like articles and books on the mob and all that kind of stuff, right? But yeah. That's cool, but it is a fantastic premise because you could do so much.
But the person that does the erasing,
right?
I don't think that I didn't really think about that aspect of it.
Right? Who does it? But I think that's also kind of a cyberpunky thing, right? Because not only do they just disappear you physically, right? That's the whole concept of this, right? And why James Caan was able to eliminate these witnesses because there's no record of them anymore. They're all gone. Everything is gone.
Right.
So yeah, it's a really cool premise and like a really cool setup for the kind of high stakes federal level shenanigans that the villains are getting up to.
You can do so much with this concept, and I was talking about this with Anton earlier today. Adam, it's like obviously we know that there's some silly direct-to-video reboot. I'm so disappointed this movie didn't get a proper sequel because this is like tailor-made for a sequel.
Franchise. Yep.
And other than Conan and Terminator, if you look at his filmography, Arnold didn't do sequels.
Nope.
It's something that I think separates him from some of his contemporaries and like, you know, just like modern franchises today, which are just all about sequels. As big of a star as he was, he didn't do sequels. Obviously, Terminator 2 is one of the biggest sequels of all time, but he didn't
from a sequel perspective, right?
Yeah,
but also,
there's so many like what ifs with his career too. Because if you think about it like this, he turned down Predator 2 over a pay dispute, and True Lies 2 gets stopped by 9/11. So it's like there was a lot of what ifs there.
Does Conan the Destroyer count as a sequel in your mind?
It technically yes,
yeah,
but I would argue that was before Arnold hit his prime and before he became Arnold as we know him as the action star today. He was still like this weirdly accented bodybuilder is going to be in some movies. Oh, isn't that funny?
But I think that's the point, right? Like, even when he wasn't Arnold as we know him today, there's no sequel to Commando, right? Like,
No.
He's in things that scream franchise or that could scream franchise, and they're just not, they don't come around, right? So this one in particular, I think, screams franchise more. There's just so much meat on the witness protection bone. To even the side characters in this film just open up so much from the Chinatown scenes and the docks, and oh man, so much wasted or could have been. So much what if, as you say.
Anton, if I ever meet him in real life, I will ask him why he never did a sequel to The Eraser and why he was in all those goofy-ass Terminator sequels that no one wanted.
It's so funny. Like, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but yeah, I have met Arnold Schwarzenegger, but in the capacity of he was our governor, and it was during in the Bay Area, or at least even at my high school, we had mock student state government, and I was in that in high school. And so I had the opportunity to ask him, but just didn't.
I'm so disappointed. How old were you?
When I met him, I was 14. Yeah.
And you didn't think to ask about Eraser 2?
No, I just shook his hand. I was like very speechless.
I heard he's cool in person.
Oh, he's so friendly. He's really friendly.
I've heard that. I had a friend who met him at like a bodybuilding competition and just like was talking about how he's the most positive guy you'll ever meet in like those kinds of scenarios. I was like, well, all right, cool, because I don't know, I've kind of idolized Arnold for a long time, not just from the acting POV, but also, you know, just everything he's managed to do as someone who came to America, not broke, but, you know, not knowing anybody and getting into this. And, you know, the whole speech about him, don't call him self-made. He's got a lot of good, positive qualities that I love. And I've looked at him.
Yeah.
So,
oh
yeah,
no, we're pro Arnold on this podcast.
Yeah, at the time too, it was so I can only imagine how overwhelming or just what kind of environment that is for anyone at the state government in Sacramento during like this time, because when our youth in government, mock government would have this event, literally, you know, hundreds of coalitions across the state, across different high schools, would descend upon the government, like the government building, the Capitol building, and have mock government for 3 days straight, just doing things that you would do, but you're just having mock government for 3 days straight. And Arnold stuck around.
Did he have to go to like Kings games and pretend to be a Kings fan?
I think if I'm Arnold, he's just like, I'm sorry, I have to root for the Lakers. That's
still a smart decision.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, I will say this: Arnold he is pretty responsive on like Reddit and Twitter, or he used to. I don't know if he's on Twitter anymore, but he was pretty responsive. There's always a chance that you tag him. You're like, hey man, what gives a No Eraser sequel? You never know.
You never know.
His interest, because it's like I can't imagine when people talk to him about his movies, like even fans, like no one's ever going up to him and being like, oh, Eraser, oh my God. But they should, because it's great.
I mean, look, we don't have to bury the lead here. We can just say it now. It's the most underrated movie he's ever done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like, I think most of his movies are properly rated, right?
Yeah.
The bad are generally considered bad. The great are considered great. This one, I think this one falls through the cracks, right? And even among like my local folks that I talk movies with, right? I brought up to some of the neighborhood guys that I play cards with, and you know, like, hey, I'm doing a podcast again this week. We're doing it on Eraser. 3 of them have never even seen it. One guy never heard of it. I was like, what?
Are these the Mets fans you tell me about?
Oh, I mean, everyone in my neighborhood except me and one other guy is a Mets fan. So, yes, they were all Mets fans. But
okay,
just a coincidence.
Okay, I don't want to say anything too mean.
You're going to alienate people.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No.
Let's go Knicks. Not to date this episode, but anyway, moving on. Second reason, the tone of this film. I mentioned earlier how this is the most unnecessary science fiction movie ever. Because if you've never seen this movie before, for the first, what is it, 20-ish minutes, it's a pretty standard setup for like an Arnold movie, right? You're like, you might be like, okay, like the witness protection thing, that's pretty cool. I've never seen Arnold do anything like that before. And then Vanessa Williams
Railguns.
goes home, and there's some guys watching her house, and you're like, what's going on here? They plug this gun into like a battery pack, and there's a scope with like a green flashlight thing, and you're like, what's this?
Yep.
Pretty sweet, gotta say.
It's so great.
I love that one of the first things you see after that is Vanessa Williams' ex-boyfriend. He's
Daryl?
like drinking the milk out of the fridge,
Yep,
and you
yep.
see it like I remember watching that when I was rewatching it for this, and be like, man, I forgot how cool that one little thing was, right? And it's like it reminded me of not to bring back The Simpsons, but when Homer was in 3D in the Halloween episode, and he's like, "Oh, I feel like I'm wasting $1 million just standing here." Right? Like that's how I felt when I was rewatching that. I was like, "Oh man, I wonder how much this one little thing cost," because somebody was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if we showed him drinking and the milk went down his esophagus."
Yeah, it was. No, I love that call out. I think it's interesting where this is often it's often a joke in Hollywood, or it's often a joke, at least for commentary wise, where take a film premise and then just add a twist, and like take it's Die Hard but on a plane, or it's Die Hard but this. So I wonder if someone was like, well, let's do Witness but add a railgun. Yeah, but honestly, like the film concept, like you said, Pat, it's amazing because it is very grounded, but then it has these elements that add such a fun twist that I do think makes this way more of an underrated film.
And I think one of the things that really works in its favor is that I think it's atypical for Arnold. He's not cracking a lot of one-liners in this. There are a couple ones here or there, but he's playing this pretty serious and pretty straight, and I think it benefits the film.
I think because there's other comic relief, right, where you don't need Arnold to be the wisecracking spy that he is in True Lies, which there he has the banter with Tom Arnold's character, right? Like here he is serious. I
work alone.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's even kind of established, right? Like there's you're not going to get a buddy in this one, right? And
well, until Robert Pastorelli comes along,
rip. But but even that, right? Robert Pastorelli becomes the kind of comical guy where he fills in, and Arnold doesn't need to do that. Although now, having said all that, right, the one-liners that he does say are
he's got some great one-liners. But you compare this to something like Total Recall or Predator.
There's no comparison.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I like how serious his character is, Kruger. First of all, Kruger's a great name for him. He looks like a Kruger. One of the funniest things about most other Arnold movies is how he has the most, I would say, surnames that don't really match the accent, like John Kimball, Harry Tasker, John Matrix. My name is Harry Tasker. I'm a computer salesman for Cyberdyne Industries. Here's my card.
Jericho Kane.
It's the best. Jericho Kane.
Oh.
What's that? It's End of Days. Yeah.
That's End of Days.
Oh my gosh. What's his name in Anton, you're on mute. What is his name in Jingle All the Way? It's funny. Whatever it is, it's funny.
He was a good old Howard Langston.
Howard Langston.
Oh my gosh.
Ben Richards, the Running Man.
Yeah, Ben Richards. But here, he looks like a Kruger.
He looks like a Kruger. He sounds like a Kruger.
Yep. It's interesting. He's in total badass mode. He does a bunch of badass things. Like he does all the physical Arnold things that you would expect him to do. But I like how he's pretty subtle in it. And one of the things I noticed on like the 10th rewatch is that he's pretty suspicious of De Guerin early on. Did you notice this? And the film doesn't really explain why, but I kind of like that they don't explain it. Because this guy, it immediately establishes De Guerin as his friend, his mentor, the guy who taught him. They've been working together for years. And yet, when De Guerin comes to him with our witnesses are being killed, he's not 100% in on it. Arnold or Kruger, he goes along with it, but you can tell from their first meeting at the restaurant, he's like, I don't know about this.
Something's fishy here.
I that as like Arnold being immediate, not that De Guerin is the mole, but that there was, right? Like he gets into serious mode, right? Because he's a total badass, because he works alone, right? Like he immediately starts thinking, okay, who could it be? And he's filing down names in his head. He's doing his job, as it were, right? Like that's how I took that scene. But it's interesting that you bring it up that way and look at it from that angle, where like, yeah, because it's true. Maybe he does immediately suspect.
Yeah, because like remember when they get on the plane after the house raid, he lies to the Guardian about where his witness is.
Yes.
He tells them it's Atlanta, but it's like what caused him? Was it he just didn't trust anyone, or was it something specifically about the Guardian?
Well, I think a part of it is that just an intelligent move on his character's part of, all right, I'm going to feed you some information if you do go to the wrong location. Well, now I know what's happening.
So two things that are hilarious about his job. So initially when he shows up to the office, remember he's checking for the fake IDs, and that guy's like, "Who the hell was that guy?" And then the ID guy's like, "I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you." Like, don't they work at the same office?
It's very excessive.
You ever worked in an office where you threaten to kill each other every 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's. But Arnold works there. It's like just look him up on the email. I don't know, the company director. And then when they meet at the restaurant, him and DeGuerin, Arnold goes, "I don't like meeting outside the normal channels." It's like, you mean the office?
Like, yeah, it's like it's the one coworker that's a little too formal when they talk to you.
Get a little. Why?
It's like, why do you keep saying circle back? We're outside of the office, Frank.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. We don't need to circle back right now.
It's just a hilarious thing to say because they already met and talked to each other at the office earlier in the film. It's like, how dare you want to meet me at the restaurant? You know how they feel about coffee.
It's all business. That's it.
Your luggage.
Your luggage. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the action.
Let's do it. That's why we all see Arnold movies, right?
Chuck Russell directed this. He would never be bigger than he was in 1996. He had just finished working on The Mask. Huge hit for him. I have to admit, I didn't really know his name, but looking at his filmography, he did A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and the Blob remake.
Huge fan of both of those movies.
I can't remember. Was 3 the one at the hospital?
Yep, that was a dream word.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
I remember that one.
Pretty memorable.
Song by Dokken. Oof. Very good stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Do all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies have one thing in common, which is they're all really memorable until the end, and they just don't know how to end them?
Well, yeah, because there's always there's always that one new thing they didn't realize they had to do to put Freddy away forever. Starting 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, right? Like there's always that one thing they didn't do.
I got to rewatch them all again. Anton, we're going to start covering them next year.
It's been such
some of them
a long
blend
time.
Together.
It's been such a long time since I've seen the Freddy movies.
I don't want to get too far off, but that's another thing about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies that they always have the sole survivor tends to get killed in the next film.
Right, because Nancy gets killed in the third one, right? She's not in the second one, right?
No, Nancy's the exception. She doesn't get killed until much later. I think 5 is where Nancy.
Oh, okay.
Dies, but the survivor from 2 dies in 3. The survivor from 3 dies. Survivors from 3 die in 4. I think 4 dies in 5. Yeah, the survivors from 3 are Patricia Arquette, the guy Roland, and one other one. They all die.
The second one's the outlier, right?
Yeah, that's where Freddy possesses the kid in real life.
Right. But he doesn't possess anyone in the other movies, right?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
But again, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's really fuzzy. Like I think I remember the Halloween films more than I remember the Nightmare on Elm Street films right now. But I think it's interesting. I think was it the Friday the 13th series spans across more decades than Nightmare on Elm Street, right?
Yeah, Friday the 13th. I think technically you could say didn't really end until the 2010s with the reboot.
Right.
And then that was only one movie, right? Isn't there a weird rights issue over that too? Not to get totally off track, but there's some.
There is. There's a rights issue. I think there's a difference copyright between the character Jason Voorhees and the design of Jason Voorhees versus the Friday the 13th name. I think is the view.
Interesting. Huh.
We'll get there eventually, Anton. Don't worry.
Last aside, I met Kane Hodder once. Great dude. Huge. Like 6'7".
Was that like a convention?
Whoa. Yeah, exactly. It was at Madison Square Garden when I was in 10th grade.
Nice. That's awesome. That's so cool. I love that.
So back to Chuck Russell. He didn't do a lot worth talking about after this, except, I mean, if there's any Scorpion King fans here, I am not one of them. Didn't think so.
I love the Mummy Returns, but
I was gonna say, yeah, the
You didn't
original.
direct that, though.
I know, but there was a Scorpion King in that movie.
There sure was. In one is just the all-time great bad CGI sequences.
I was gonna say the CGI from this is far superior to that.
to whatever the heck the Rock walked out.
That was some PS2 graphic shit. That really was.
Honestly, worse than PS2 graphics.
Yeah, I remember that was laughed at in the theater.
Yeah,
We were just like, what?
that was really bad.
Well, so back to this movie. I mean, I think Chuck Russell does a fantastic job here with the action. Just the whole way. This is a pretty well-directed, it's a well-constructed action movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's plot holes, don't get me wrong, right? I think you've already exposed like 3 of them, but it's a tight start to finish. There's reasons to move between the action scenes. The action scenes are believable in the context of what's going on in the movie, even though like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute, maybe not believable, but you get why he's on the plane.
Every set piece moves the plot forward.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think I was ever bored, really. I think that
No.
the pacing was very well paced.
Yeah. And that's a good point that the pacing is there, right? Because a lot of times in action movies, I always feel like it's the opposite of a lot of movies, right? I feel like sometimes action movies move way too quick for me to like keep up with, and like too much action bores me just as much as not enough in these kinds of things. And I think this is great, right? Like everything is like even the reporter scenes, right, where she's trying to get Lee to, oh, come on, you got to give me the story, give me the scoop, right? Like it's not action, but there's a reason for it to be there.
Roma Mafia, the reporter. Somebody peeled her like an onion.
If she knew anything, she talked.
She talked. Calderon.
Oh,
We start off with a suiting up montage. It's like watching Batman Forever. We get Chekhov's belt buckle blade.
oh yeah.
It comes back. Pretty awesome. We get the Panerai Luminor.
That's right.
We get an opening scene at a mobster's house when they're about to be executed. And I wrote down, it will never not be hilarious seeing Arnold in a ski mask. He looks ridiculous.
I didn't think about that until you said it, but now I'm remembering the scene in True Lies where he raids the.
Yep.
Oh my god, he looks so stupid! Oh my god,
It's so funny.
He
this
does.
is like a glass breaking moment, right? Like I can't not think of it.
I don't know why him of all actors looks that ridiculous in a ski mask, but he does. I don't know if it's the size of his head. I don't know if it's his eyes. I can't figure it out.
I think that's it. I think it's because his profile is it's very disproportionate, and that's becomes more accentuated once you just have the ski mask.
There's so much to love in this opening house scene. It ends with a house blowing up, but I mean, we get the one mobster who just decides to raid the fridge in the middle of an execution. That's some horror movie stuff. You gotta love that.
That's what you do, right? Isn't that what you do? Isn't that what you would do? I would do that.
I asked Anton about this earlier. So Robert Pastorelli's his character's identity gets blown. He eats dinner in a restaurant in his old neighborhood. Like,
It's
aren't
very
you
dumb.
supposed to be relocated to another part of the country?
It's very dumb.
I mean,
I just thought,
if I'm ever in witness protection, Pat, I'll blow my cover to contact you if I'm ever going to go back to my old neighborhood to eat in a
I
restaurant.
mean, we can have you on the pod with your camera off and like your voice modulated.
There it is. See?
Yeah, there we go.
You can blow your cover by saying like, when I was on the Eraser episode.
That'll be it. Then everyone will know. Oh my god. It's that guy.
If I get my cover blown though, because I had to go back to my favorite Olive Garden, like I deserve to get caught. That's all.
What does he say to his wife? He's like, I couldn't get a good meal.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
But that's the ultimate consequence of Henry Hill, right? You
Yeah.
ordered spaghetti marinara, you got egg noodles and ketchup.
Right. I mean, I get it. I get it. Having moved from North Jersey, the New York area, to North Carolina, it was a downgrade in terms of the Italian food.
Oh yeah, I bet. But upgrade in terms of the barbecue, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's
it's a good
true.
bet.
Yeah, it was worth it in the end. It's a perfect setup for the Eraser character, right? Like this is such a what a strong opening to a film. Everything you need to know about the character of John Kruger, you'll learn.
In the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's great. And you never need to think about that again because he just keeps reinforcing that that's the guy you met and that's who he is.
He can't stop erasing people.
Just no, he can't. It's the thing that he loves to do most of all.
We then get the Cyrez escape with Vanessa Williams and James Cromwell and the FBI agents. We get a young John Slattery.
Yes,
one of the
do.
FBI agents. All right, I just want to say, for the record, suicide is not funny in any circumstances. However, James Cromwell's suicide in this film is one of the funniest things in a film.
When I like, was he on the 600th floor? Like,
that's what's funny about it. It's not the fact that he shoots himself in the head. That's not funny. But the window breaking, and apparently it opens a wind tunnel.
Right. That's what's funny because it's like I said, it seems like there was more suction in that scene than there was in the jet scene with the door.
It's the same amount. It's like they use the same effect. It's the same exact effect.
So over the top. Like, I don't know. That's, to your point, there's nothing funny about suicide.
Right.
We're not laughing at the suicide. We are laughing at the collateral damage.
Yeah, it was a little over the top, right?
It's I can't believe they didn't redo that on the day of shooting. They're like, well, that was a little crazy. Like maybe dial that back 50%. No.
Yeah.
This is something else. I asked Anton this earlier on the phone, and I'm curious, Adams. Like I saw this movie a lot on cable when I was a kid. Did they just cut that whole scene out? I don't remember that at all.
Oh, I remember it. That's burned into my head. So,
okay.
But I don't remember it on TV.
On TV, yeah, I don't know.
No, I remembered it. I remembered that scene before I rewatched it for the pod. But like, so yeah, I think there is, or maybe I watched it on like I had HBO back.
Oh, that might have been.
Maybe I saw it on
maybe
HBO a bunch of times, and not like because I know I also saw it on like TBS or TNT or like one of those.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. I think.
Yeah,
and they were pretty infamous for the censorship.
An incredibly effective cameo from Cromwell because you're not expecting someone that famous to just die in 2 minutes.
In one scene, this early in the movie.
Yeah. Huge year for James Cromwell, by the way, 1996. He's coming off an Oscar nomination for Babe. He's in this and an incredible role in Star Trek First Contact.
Oh, I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
He's so good in that movie.
Maybe that's due for a rewatch. All right, jot that down.
We're covering that soon if you're interested. I don't know. I mean, it's also the 30th anniversary. We're going to cover it. So we're moving through the plot here. Lee Cullen is told her life is in danger and just goes home. She's like, I'm going home.
Yeah, well, my life's not going to be in danger at home. Surely the company where I work doesn't know where I live.
She gets Daryl killed.
Listen, Daryl got himself killed, right? All right, they broke up.
He did, you're right.
Why is he, like, heading on back to the ex's house? He didn't even send her a you up text. Like, come on, you can't just show up at your ex's house and expect to not get shot through the back with a...
She doesn't react strongly enough to this, though. Because she's like, how did you get in here? Like, why are you here?
Yeah, no, I got the sense that she was like, stop stalking me. Like,
yeah,
like that's... He wasn't totally unexpected.
By the way, nice house. Nice 90s looking house. Looks very comfy.
Very 90s. Probably a set, right?
It had a sitcom.
Yeah, it was a set.
Yeah.
It had a sitcom vibe, I can think.
It definitely looked like a sitcom. Like, yeah. And then Arnold rescues her disguised as a balloon delivery guy with "Let's Party" on his uniform on the back. This is just like this is amazing.
Daryl answers the door and is like, "Oh, who are these from?"
No, let's see who this is. Oh yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, poor Daryl.
Oh, you know it too. As soon as you see him, as soon as she comes home and he comes out of the is he in the bathroom or something? You're like, oh, this guy's toast.
Yeah, it's done. Oh, it's curtains for that guy.
Well, let's talk about the railgun then, because this blew my mind when I saw it. It holds up really well.
I still want to have
cool.
Pew pew with it. Like it's such a cool weapon.
So influential. Being a big video game fan, and I know, Pat, I know you're a big video game fan. Adam, I'm just going to assume you're also a fan of video games.
Can I show it? Can I show him? It's a Mario tattoo on my arm. I don't want to show Pat Reddy's video, but yeah. Yes, huge video game fan.
Yeah, so we know the impact of railguns.
Quake 2 was what? Following year, right?
Yes, this film popularized the idea, the concept of the railgun They started popping up all over the place after this. Quake 2, Red Faction, Shadow Warrior, Fallout, Command and Conquer had railguns. Turok Dinosaur Hunter had railguns.
Did you happen to do the ridiculous thing that I did and look at videos of Quake 2 next to Eraser?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same effect, except that Quake 2 is blue and Eraser is green. It's the same effect. It's so, like...
And railguns endure. Even in the most recent GTA, GTA 5, there is a railgun. So,
yes,
for whatever reason.
This exact railgun has a very quick cameo in Ready Player One.
No.
Ready Player One.
Didn't see the movie. Don't plan on it.
It's not bad. I've seen worse. Now, I know that this is not technically a railgun, but I just want to shout out the sniper rifle in Halo is as close to a railgun as it gets.
Just very in its effectiveness, perhaps.
So here's a fun fact about me that I've used to blow several people's minds. I have a Mario tattoo. I have probably logged 5 figures in World of Warcraft and various online games, Destiny, right? I've never played Halo.
Wow. That really does blow my mind.
Yep, I've never played it.
Did you play Call of Duty?
Yep.
All right.
Again, I play Destiny, so like
it's a staple. All right.
I'm a Bungie
no
fan.
Halo.
It makes me sad, but I'm more sad for you because what you need to do is go watch some videos. And Anton, I won't hear any other arguments on this. The sniper rifle in Halo is the greatest video game sniper rifle of all time.
I'm trying to think of other, in terms of effectiveness, it was very overpowered. And
it was overpowered, but I mean, it was like, if you got the sniper rifle, Adam, everyone else playing the game would scramble.
Just run away from you? That's awesome.
Because there's no recoil on it. That's why it functions like a railgun. So much fun.
Right. That was one of the things about the railgun that they talk about, right? There's no recoil. Because he says, the smallest one I've ever heard of is mounted on a battleship.
It is crazy how this was science fiction at the time, but of course railguns are real now.
Yeah.
They are real now.
They're not that small, or at least not that we know of, and the videos of it is just wild watching these things work in real life.
Like I said, I think it's in the top 5 coolest movie weapons, like that are just the staple of the movie, right? 'Cause basically the whole plot centers around the railgun being sold to hostile countries or the Russian mafia.
The Russian mafia.
See, the Russian mafia seemed like big time villains at this point, right? Like not even in this movie. I feel like there's other movies around this time, Bad Boys and all that had like Russian mafia.
Well, this was the post Cold War era, and they're like, we Russians are such great bad guys, but the Soviet Union collapsed. How can we continue to feature Russians as villains in our movies?
The mafia.
Got it.
Mafia. That works. I was just reading very quickly on railgun technology, and it's the Japanese self-defense fleet, because they don't have an army; they have a self-defense fleet. They were firing railgun rounds into the ocean from a vessel during major testing in 2023. So, you can only imagine. Just
Well, I mean, I understand that they were trying to kill Godzilla.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's defensible.
Yeah.
So the X-ray scope,
fleet.
The X-ray scope, it is cool, but I was thinking about this because you see this happen in the film with Friendly Fire. You can't tell who's who.
No.
It's a little flawed.
Listen, I don't make the rules, man. It's just if you got to shoot, you got to shoot. That's it, right? And these guys don't strike me as the type to care who they're firing at. It's more just like, got to get the job done. If we got to kill them all, kill them all.
No.
In fact, doesn't that happen at one point? It does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's his name? Calderon, Nick Chinland.
Yep.
He kills one of his fellow henchmen with it. The guy who picks up the shotgun.
But they were just blasting.
They were just blasting. Yeah, Arnold has a lot of luck. He dodges all that. That's where you get
the projectiles from the railgun is easily dodged.
In the warehouse at the end. He get great Arnold sound effects on that. So then after this house escape, Kruger decides to hide Lee, an extremely attractive African-American woman, in Chinatown, New York City.
As one
A little
does.
out of place.
Yeah, you know. And then we get the U.S. Marshal house raid. We get Arnold stabbing a guy through a door. He kicks another one out of a second-story window. That's what you want from an Arnold movie, like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want from most movies in general, but especially in Arnold movies.
Yeah, I think it's great from a choreography standpoint, just because you can capture a lot of that great fight choreography in an enclosed space. So a house like that, perfect.
My favorite fight scenes are always in enclosed spaces, right? That's why I think the best Marvel fight scene is the hallway from Daredevil.
Or
And
if
that's-
anyone's seen The Raid, like
Right, yep. But what I like about this scene too is that like it really takes advantage of Arnold's just his size, right? Like he's chucking dudes around like it's nobody's business, and that's how that he should not be a dexterous ninja like character. He should be a brute who picks you up and throws you out of a window or kicks you through a wall. Like that's Arnold. That comes through here.
Yes, you're right, and yet he does do one or two ninja-esque moves in this film that are so hilariously out of place. I forgot to mention this in the opening scene when he's rescuing Robert Pastorelli. Remember, he shoots one of the mafia guys in the chest, and then he does this somersault before he shoots the other guy in the chest. And then later at the docks, at the climax, when the two guards spot him up on like the crane, he does this swan dive flip thing and lands behind them, and it's so obviously not Arnold.
The Assassin's Creed like leaping haystack.
Yeah, it's just
phenomenal.
Definitely a stuntman each time.
It's so out of place with all the other stuff he does in the film. Everything else is, you're right, just brute force.
Yeah, which again, right? Like that's if I'm thinking of like a big jacked witness protection guy, what's he going to do? Bend the steel bar to get me through? Yes. Is he going to backflip off a crane? No.
I want to see him rip an airplane seat off a wall and throw it through an engine. Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing a fighting video game and they tell you exactly what's their fighting style. If you give me like Arnold from this film, it's like it says brawler. I think brawler is probably the best fit.
Yep. And it's glorious. It is glorious. And the gunplay in it too, right? Aside from the railgun too, right? Like the gunplay is generally good. Yeah. Right? I like those, in all the scenes where, they're shooting, there's as realistic and believable as any other action movie, but it sounds good. It feels good. And, when dudes get hit with bullets, they react as at least I expect them to.
I got a deep cut for you guys. So you have played Call of Duty, not Halo, but you played Call of Duty. But I am 80% sure that there is a map, and it's either in a Call of Duty game or Rainbow Six that had this exact house in it.
I think it's Modern Warfare 2.
You know exactly what I'm talking about then, right?
Yes.
There's a landscape outside, and there's like this like split level type of house.
It's one of the biggest maps, I think, in the franchise because you can use sniper rifle, and there's also close quarters combat inside the house. Yep. Yes, I remember that distinctly. Check out Modern Warfare 2. I'm pretty sure that's the.
I don't know if they would ever admit it, but I'm pretty sure they based it on this.
I can see that.
I can see that.
And then we get the plane scene, maybe the highlight of the film.
Good times.
I was gonna ask like this or the zoo scene as being like it's like one and A in terms of just like over the top ridiculous action scenes in this film. I still don't have an answer for myself which one I like. But all right, let's talk about the plane scene.
It's perfect.
Fantastic.
He gets drugged. He gets framed for killing Fabrizio from Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
I go to America. Poor Danny Nucci.
Bastardo.
Yeah. Bastardo. I can see the Statue of Liberty already.
This is the turn, right? Mm-hmm. DeGuerin's the bad guy. All right, we get it now, and we still don't know how high it goes, but we know that he's the bad guy.
No, we know the Undersecretary of Defense is involved at that point.
Oh, I'm mixing up my timeline. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, we know he's involved at that point. But I love Arnold. Arnold just doesn't shoot his way out. I just love how he very quickly realizes he has to get off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what better way to do it than jumping out of it without a parachute?
After disabling one of the engines with a seat
that you ripped out of the floor.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. That's how to do it.
The fuselage, not a problem for Arnold. Well, for John Kruger.
Right. We're underselling how awesome this sequence is. It's just if you haven't seen this movie and you've made it this far into this episode of the podcast, just go watch it.
I mean, I would argue this is one of the this and the zoo scene, right? They're just like there's some of the better action sequences in like they're up there with the Matrix to me. Like, and I love the Matrix movies, which I don't know if we've talked about those. Like, I love all three of them. That's right.
All three?
All three.
Holy shit.
Of them. But those action scenes were formative for me. This is right up there with them, with the Matrix. It's just
so good. I think the zoo sequence, though, I think it's just so fun because of the setting. And then, of course, you get the great, like, everything is just so over the top fun.
Yep. Plus, I had been to the Central Park Zoo at that point in my life. So
I love how it flows right into the zoo sequence too. They don't waste any time. There's just no downtime. He parachutes down. He gets the truck. He drives to New York.
Alligators.
Well, so that's the other thing that I love. It's on par with the crane jump, right? You know, from that height and land. Like the dude lands in a junkyard, wrapped in a parachute.
There's so much more they could have done with the zoo sequence. You could have based the whole climax of the film here, like no more monkey business.
Your luggage, but even thinking to like shoot out the glass and release it's just a really cool, well written action scene that again like rivals. It's up there with the Matrix for me. Like it's just cool. He stops the alligator's mouth from biting him.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
I like how the alligator does it use its tail to knock his gun out of his hand initially? Just
yes.
So after that, and this movie's just going rapid fire. Mm-hmm. It's just one set piece to another. It's probably the best thing about the film is the pacing. There's no downtime. It's just one thing into a next. We get the Cyrez heist.
I remember when I was watching it again, it was like, oh, I can't believe there's nothing between these because there's nothing between these scenes. There's nothing else for us to talk about in between these action pieces.
But it doesn't feel rushed.
No, it doesn't at all. The next break you get is what? When they do...
They're at I think, is it St. Patrick's? Is it St. John's Cathedral or St. Patrick's Cathedral when they're hiding out there for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, with the priest that he had disappeared.
Yes.
From the cartels.
Yes.
I said disappeared. I'm sorry. Priest said he erased.
Yeah, you erased him. Yeah. And I love the world building there. How John knows all these people who he's helped, relocate over the years, and he uses his network. It's good storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And he's the only one who knows them, and that's always been his thing because he works alone. So he's the only one who knows, and that's why he can go to these people and not have to worry about DeGuerin and the rest of them.
And I mean, you could argue after the zoo sequence, the film goes up a level because Robert Pastorelli gets reintroduced to the film, and we get the Cyrez heist.
Again, one of the greater, it's a calmer moment, even though it's high tension, but it's not like guns blazing, fighting action. It is a well-written interruption to the pace that doesn't decrease the tension or the overall action of the film.
Infiltrating a highly guarded building to steal classified information always works in a movie.
Yep. There's a trope for a reason.
It's a good time.
Pastorelli pretending to be the pizza delivery guy is great.
When he gets mad for saying, he's like, I can't let this get cold. Do you have any idea how good this pizza is?
I like all the stuff he's doing is perfect. When the guard tells him, like, this is a highly secured facility, he's like, just it's so great. Yeah, you're right, Adam. R.I.P. He was a great talent. I always liked him in whatever he was in.
Just a great character actor that, drug overdose. What do you like? It was the 90s, right? People were doing morphine and heroin all the time. But yeah, he made things that he was in better. And you remember him, even though he is a bit player in most of it. So yeah, R.I.P. Robert Pastorelli. Drugs are bad, kids.
My favorite thing about this whole Cyrez escape, or the heist, right, is we get to see Arnold's typing. He is...
Oh, my God.
He is two-fingering it. It's incredible.
I learned that there's a name for that. Did you know that there's a name for that? Hunt and peck.
Wow. That's what he's doing.
I've never heard that term.
Yeah. Hunt And
They're using James Cromwell's office, which is just brilliant. And then, I mean, and then it turns into a shootout thing. Arnold kills, like, I don't know, 25 security guards.
who just showed up to do their job that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he uses the guy as a human shield and then pops the pin on the grenade and then kicks him into the elevator, it's just...
That's so
The Eraser shows no mercy.
The body count in the film is 62. Kruger kills 40 people.
Jesus, that's awesome. That's
It's
so good.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that
that's gratuitous.
we're giving him the assists on the alligator kills.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see like I think it's Hot Shots Part 2, the kill count there, like the score. When he's like, I've always wanted to see that like overlaid over other like action movies, just like actual kill counts. I know they do that on YouTube. That
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel specifically that does this.
I don't like that. I want to see it on my TV with my own version.
You're
of the
right.
kill
It should
count.
be like an Amazon X-ray feature.
Right. Wouldn't that be great?
The kill count. X-ray.
Yeah, it should
That'd
be.
pretty funny.
With a breakdown of who killed them.
Amazon.
Amazon,
I know we're in the interest of time here, Anton. I'm trying to power through this for you.
Oh, that's right. All right. I'll stop interjecting with other awesome things.
No. I mean, you know.
No. Keep going. It's
please
just
do.
we're good. We're good. Don't worry. We're good.
I just want to bring up the name Two Toes for a minute.
One thing about I think this actually is a plot hole. How does he get out of Cyrez, the building, after the helicopter takes off? How do him and Robert Pastorelli get out of there?
The paramedics. They Pastorelli fakes the with the Alka-Seltzer.
That's going to get them out after Kruger kills 25 security guards or whatever.
He didn't kill the guy with the seizure. Guy had to go out.
That's true.
That's true.
Fair enough. That leads to the climax at the docks, which is a pretty good way to end an action movie. We get the Mafia Squad from Analyze This.
Yep.
For a lot of comic relief.
Who just happened to control the very docks where the deal is taking place. Love that. But it has to take place there because they're loading the weapons onto the ship bound for Mother Russia.
Yeah.
Or wherever they're going to
They're taking off from Baltimore.
What are you?
Yeah.
Do you know a better one?
It reminded me of the Wire. I was like, oh, so the
Sabaka.
Frank Sabaka, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been remember they're like the union workers need to be involved in this. I would have been like, it would have been Sabaka's crew.
That's you guys using union labor?
Is it
That is very
possible
Wire.
that the Russian mob guy was involved with the Greek from the Wire?
I don't know if it's possible, but it's certainly probable.
Yeah.
If we're in the same universe, you know they're doing business.
I choose to believe this is the same universe.
How old would Avon have been in '96?
Not that much younger. I mean, because
No.
the Wire came out in what, 01, 02? Like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
So then he was still probably in his.
he may not have been Kingpin, but he may have been.
Oh, I
a
think he
big
was
deal.
in his prime in '96. Him and Stringer.
All right.
We get the actor's name is Oleg Krupa. If you needed someone to play a Russian mobster in the '90s, you were calling him.
Yeah, I'm trying like I brought up that was a really good set of villains was the Russian mafia in the mid '90s to the mid 2000s, and I think he's in every single movie.
He's in a lot of them. Arnold shoots two bad guys from beneath the floor. It's pretty amazing.
Pretty badass.
Then he dual wields the railguns. The highlight of the film.
Yep.
It's iconic.
The only issue with this whole climactic action sequence is you just don't believe that James Caan can take him in a fight. It's ridiculous. It's the only real flaw in the film, I think.
They didn't build up James Caan's physical ability, so it just doesn't feel earned. It just doesn't make sense.
I think you're supposed to suspend the disbelief. He's Kruger's mentor. He taught Kruger everything he knows, right? Like you're supposed to think that way. But I would have liked to have seen a more extended scene where he's like crafty. He's like throwing pocket sand, right?
Or give us like a really unbelievable scene where James Caan takes off his shirt and he's CGI'd like chiseled in.
Like the bad guy in Metal Gear Solid game, the senator,
the president.
Oh yeah.
Solidus?
No, not Solidus. There's a later Metal Gear game where like the bad guy is a senator trying to be president,
Yeah,
but he's like enhanced with nano machines, so he just gets like on demand. He can get jacked, and like that's what I was like.
Oh,
that'd
shit!
be
Doesn't Solidus become president in one of the games in Sons of Liberty?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
he does. Yeah.
There's a deep cut. We're doing some video game deep cuts in this episode. I like this.
That's a good time.
It makes sense. There's an eraser video game, which is a puzzle game.
Puzzle game, as you'd want it to be.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and then the movie ends. I mean, all the action I think is really well executed. Same cinematographer as Terminator 2, Adam Greenberg. Not surprising. Chuck Russell knows how to direct this stuff. I thought the spatial geography was great in every set piece. I always knew where the characters were in relation to one another. Everything flowed.
And not for nothing, the ending where they get off for treason, kind of, in an action movie sense, it works, right? Because now he gets to kill them. But it's also grounded in reality because people get away with that kind of bullshit all the time. So,
right.
Yes,
the CIRES hearings.
The CIRES here. And it gives rise to, I think, probably my favorite of the one-liners in the movie. They caught a train.
They caught a train.
And I love how Lee is like, well, what happened? Like, she didn't know that that's what he was going to do.
Good old Lee Cullen. Oh, man. Yeah, and I do want to shout out really, really fun action movie score from Alan Silvestri.
Yeah, it is a good score.
Super 90s with the wailing electric guitar. Wow. Pretty much every 5 minutes you hear an electric guitar wail.
It's a film with a guitar player. I can't hate it at all. At all.
All right, last reason we can move through the cast. We talked about Arnold. He's great here. This is a stacked cast, really from top to bottom. I mean, Vanessa Williams we can talk about first. Obviously, she's an incredibly good-looking woman. I think a good actor. She's good.
Oh, super solid in this. Very talented woman in general.
Yes.
She could have ruined this movie, right? Like, how often do you have movies ruined by annoying, like, tag-along? Like, I believed her as being both scared but willing. Yeah, she made a stupid decision going home, but, like, willing to fight and being principled and wanting to stand. I believed it. And that's more than I can say for a whole lot of action movie sidekicks, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know a ton about her motivation, about why she's wanting to see this through all the way, but...
I don't need to know that.
No.
I need to know that I believe that she wants to, and I got it.
And they don't turn her into a really cliched love interest.
Yep.
Which, I mean, Arnold had a lack of that in his films. It's kind of interesting. He didn't do that all the time.
I think it was nice because it is actually pretty common that he was paired with very strong female co-leads. I mean, think Terminator, even this film. I think
True Lies.
True Lies, great one. So I think probably it just tracks for Arnold.
James Caan is the primary villain to Guerin. Caan is absolutely phoning this in, but I still think he's great. He gives it a lot of energy.
I mean, that's more about, well, how good James Caan is when he doesn't phone it in. If he's like, he's clearly phoning this in just based on his other performances, and you're still like, wow, what a great villain.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is the role doesn't demand for much. It's not the most nuanced role. It's just
no.
Yeah. Be a bad guy.
Just be a bad guy.
I got it.
I like
just be a bad guy.
He's so nonchalant with Kruger. Like on the plane, he's like, I gotta be honest, John. I'm gonna take my chances. He's like,
love it.
Him killing his own witness is brutal.
Oh,
man, that's just like. That's like a low-key, like, horrible movie death, what he does to her. Like, oh, my gosh. She thinks she's saved, and then that happens? Oh.
It's also really good at establishing how awful he is.
Oh, yeah, he's just vile.
As a villain, right? Like, I saved you once before, now I'll just kill you because I can make a couple bucks off it. So
I was curious about the plot. Not that you'd expect a deep plot from this. It's not really clear why they're killing that woman, how she's connected to the CIRES stuff.
It's true.
And was it all a ruse to make Kruger think?
I thought she overhears one of the guys talking about the big arms deal or something, and he realizes, I don't know. That's what I think I saw. I could be wrong.
I just like how the movie, it doesn't need to be subtle. They don't mess around with James Caan. Like, they establish he's the villain pretty early on and just sticks with it. They just let James Caan do his thing.
Yeah. When movies like this, though, get out of their own way, you get good stuff. Right?
Yeah.
You don't try to be something you're not. You don't try to shovel in, like a love interest is another really good thing that you guys brought up, right? Like, you're not shoveling in a love interest here. She's not even a damsel in distress, right? She's in distress, but she is participating every step of the way. The plot gets out of its own way, and I think it doesn't try to make us think. It just tries to entertain the hell out of us.
James Coburn is the director of Witsec. I forgot just what an awesome voice he had.
I mean, James Coburn is, Henry J. Waternoose, right?
Right.
And I loved him. Like, I adore the movie Maverick and his position as the Commodore. And like, I remember his voice as the Commodore talking about the prize money. And oh man, I love James Coburn.
He's in a lot of stuff. He was not as old as I thought when he died. He died in the mid 2000s and he was only like 74.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he looks older in this film.
Yeah.
He would have been in his 60s, but yeah, good role for him.
Full gray hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he came up at a time where everyone's smoking constantly, and
James Caan's crew, DeGuerin's crew, just a murderer's row of amazing action movie character actors. Nick Chinland is Calderon. Love that guy.
Very good.
Got a great role in Chronicles of Riddick. He plays Toombs. Big fan of his. Michael Papajohn is one of the marshals working for DeGuerin. Now, I mean, he would later go on to murder Uncle Ben. And I think that's worth pointing out.
I think so. All because Spider-Man let him steal money.
Right.
Really sad, man. Really, really sad.
Anton Boggs is in this movie. Mark Ralston.
A lot of great.
Is Adam drawing a blank?
Yeah.
Boggs, the rapist from Shawshank Redemption, the leader of the sisters.
Thank you. That was the one.
That was the second time Andy was raped.
Shawshank Redemption is one of the movies that I've seen like twice, and like just that Schindler's List. Never need to watch those movies
brutal.
Ever again.
And after that, Boggs never walked again. Andy Romano plays the villainous Undersecretary of Defense. Not really sure why he was risking selling railguns to the Russian mob, but I appreciate him being a villain.
But I mean, look at him. He looks like a sniveling little worm.
He does, but I feel betrayed because he's Admiral Bates in the Under Siege movies.
Admiral Bates is a cool character in Under Siege.
Yeah. He's like, well, if Casey Ryback's on board, we've got a chance. We talked about Cromwell. We talked about Pastorelli. Joe Vitarelli as the mafia cousin. I mean, he could do that role in his sleep.
He is that role.
Yeah.
Permanently.
Yeah. Speeding things up here for Anton. Gary Becker is Morehart. Slattery is an FBI agent. We talked about the Russian gangster guy. Patrick Kilpatrick plays the head of Cyrez Security. Outstanding villain mustache. He's got a tricked out gun. He gets emasculated by James Caan. It's all fun.
That's a great scene.
It's modern action movies could learn a lot from this because all the henchmen, including like the smallest parts, they all have personalities.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's something fun about it where this isn't the first 90s action film or film from this era where you can really see even though they were side characters, there was enough color to them to make them memorable. Absolutely right.
I talked about Danny Nucci. Adam, you mentioned some of Fabrizio's quotes. Poor Marshall Monroe.
He was like the he reminded me very much of the I can't remember the character's name in The Fugitive. That
gets killed in U.S. Marshals?
Yeah, the U.S. Marshals movie. Yeah, that's another good one.
His name's not Wilson. What is his name?
I just remember Tommy Lee Jones saying to Robert Downey, "Why'd you shoot that boy?"
Yeah,
like that's who
Newman.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, rough scene that was.
Yeah,
But it was this one.
Shocking.
Right?
Anton, we covered U.S. Marshals is one of our first 10 episodes.
That's an early
episode of Why Wasn't It Better?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Underrated.
Robert Downey Jr.
Come on. What's not to like? People don't like it. It's surprising. It's not a well-liked movie.
It's a good time.
What do they know? Well, we've gone through the notes. Anton has to go. Does Anton, you want to give your rating first then? Since you have to go. Would you like to give your rating first?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this movie is so fun. I feel like it's very underrated in the sense that it really is overshadowed by some films that are remembered by big Arnold fans first, and then also there were more 90s action film juggernauts at the time. But look, it has very influential influential moments in the film, whether around the railgun, a lot of the influence from the choreography, the fighting, all of the gunplay. It's just really fun all around. The villains, while maybe a bit more one-dimensional, also still really fun and memorable. And Vanessa Williams is just a standout with just her acting ability and just really making the film just another really fun part of this film. So it's hard to really look at any moments in this film that drag. It's really tough for me. I do think that it has just enough one-liners that I'm always entertained, but not enough that my eyes completely roll over in my head. So I think that I'm a big fan. I think that this is a film that I should definitely revisit more often. This has so much rewatchability. I give this one a very solid B.
Adam, would you like to go last, or do you want me to keep going with this?
No, I can go. I agree with Anton. I also give this a very solid B for very similar reasons, and I think it is great. And I'm grading it mostly on the how much fun I had watching it, kind of because you have to remember, right? I'm not going to say the name of the movie, but I saw while I was doing the prep for this podcast, I saw a movie that was neither fun nor boring. And I'm not going to say the name of the movie, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's nice to see a movie and get reminded of, holy shit, sometimes movies are just fun, right? And this was fun. Start to finish, it's fun. Yes, villains can be one-dimensional, but they're fun. The pacing is such that I don't get bored, no matter what, right? Even if you don't like the movie, you can never say this movie's boring. Everything is good about it. It's, it captures a very nice essence of what I think action movies were in this time period. And it does it better than almost any other one that happens around this time.
I'm right there with the both of you at a B, because I thought about going into the A territory, but I can't do that because as much fun as this movie is and as much as I like it, we've hardly said anything negative about this in this entire episode. It's not special the way that some of, again, it's no knock against this film, but it's just not on that level of Arnold's top tier action movies and maybe some of the other top tier action movies from the 90s, like a Speed, like a Fugitive, like stuff like that. Those are truly special action movies. I think this has special moments, like the railgun influence, I think is special, but it doesn't make this movie special, if that makes sense.
Right.
But this really is a blast from start to finish. This is everything I want from an action movie. Arnold's still in peak form. The rest of the cast is loaded from top to bottom. James Caan leads a cast of great villains. Vanessa Williams is frankly great as just the female co-lead. The premise is great. The plot works despite some contrivances, but whatever. That's what you get with these types of movies. The set pieces are all well done. It has the right amount of cheese to it. It's definitely better than I remembered, and it's definitely an underrated movie. But I am going to go B with the both of you just because I think it's very good. It's a strong movie. I wouldn't call it special the way that you would say that about, I don't know, True Lies or Terminator 2 or some of the other ones I just mentioned. But
right. I think that's it, right? Like, and that's why I gave it a B too. Because yes, I gave it a B entirely because it's fun, but a movie needs to be a little bit more than just fun to get the A, right? And I think that's where this is. But yeah, it's maybe not the best Arnold from that era, but it is right up there with the best of Arnold from that era.
Definitely. Saturday night, nothing else to do, a cocktail in hand, and you want a dumb action movie. This is the best kind of dumb action movie.
This is it. Make it happen.
Adam, it's always great having you on. This was a lot of fun talking about Eraser.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
Love having you on, Adam.
I was very glad when you asked me to do Eraser because, I've liked it forever. And like I said, we all talked about how underrated it is. And I'm glad to find some fellows who share the love of good, cheesy action fun from the mid-90s.
Love it. Well, that is it for Eraser and this episode of Why Wasn't It Better? Thanks for listening and see you next time.